Once upon a time, you decided to start a lemonade stand. You had a recipe for delicious lemonade, and you were ready to sell cups of it to thirsty customers. You knew you'd sell each cup for 2 rand, but you weren't sure how many cups you'd sell in a day. As you set up your stand and started selling lemonade, you started to keep track of your sales. After a few hours, you'd sold 10 cups. Not bad, you thought, but I wonder how much money I'll make if I keep going. You decided to do some math to figure out how much money you'd make if you kept selling lemonade. You knew you'd have to spend some money on ingredients like lemons and sugar, but you weren't sure how much. After doing some research, you figured out that your expenses for the day would be 5 rand per cup of lemonade sold, plus an additional 10 rand for other expenses. This meant that your expenses for the day could be represented by the equation R5x plus R10, where x was the number of cups you sold. To figure out how much money you'd make, you subtracted your expenses from your revenue. This gave you the equation 2x, 5x plus 10, which you simplified to 3x, 10. Now you wanted to figure out how many cups of lemonade you needed to sell to break even, which meant that your revenue would be equal to your expenses. This was where the quadratic formula came in. The quadratic formula was like a magic spell that could help you solve equations with squared terms. In this case, your equation was 3x, 10 equals sign 0, which meant that your revenue and expenses would be equal if you sold a certain number of cups of lemonade. Using the quadratic formula, you found out that the number of cups you needed to sell to break even was 3.33, which you rounded up to 4, since you can't sell a fraction of a cup of lemonade. Thanks to the quadratic formula, you were able to figure out how many cups of lemonade you needed to sell to break even. And with that knowledge, you were able to make a profit and keep your lemonade stand running all summer long.